Next one is a poem called The Tale of Custard the Dragon. And unlike the last poem that we covered here on this channel called Fog, this one actually is quite a lengthy one, but it should be quite straightforward from the way I'm going to explain. And unlike most of your poems in your syllabus too, this one actually does have a decent introduction to it. You can see the blue box right here. So let me read that portion first. Then I'm going to talk about the themes, the relevant themes that this poem is going to cover. So let's read this first. This poem is written in the style of a ballad, a song or poem that tells a story. Now, this is what a ballad is. A ballad is actually a song or a poem dedicated to a heroic figure of a battle, of a war, suppose. You must be familiar with ballads that narrate tales of courage or heroism. Here we go. This poem is a humorous ballad close to a parody, but this poem actually is dedicated to a dragon, a coward dragon at that. So, in this sense, this one is less of an actual ballad and more of a parody of a ballad, okay? Satire of a ballad, if you like. Read it aloud, paying attention to the rhythm. Now let's talk about the themes, as I said. Now, this poem covers the themes like appearance can be deceiving, action speaks louder than words, all that glitters is not gold, empty vessels sound much. These are the topics, these are the general themes that this poem actually covers. I want you to listen to this explanation and find out how these themes become relevant here in this poem. So let's get started. First stanza. Belinda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little grey mouse and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon and a realio trulio little pet dragon. Pretty straightforward. We have a girl named Belinda. She has many pets like a kitten, a mouse, and she has a white house, she has a dog, and she has a wagon. Wagon is a cart. Wagon is sort of a vehicle, meant for drawing things, for carrying things. And the interesting one is the last line. Realio, trulio, actually is nothing else. It's really and truly. And the poet has used a poetic device here. This poem does have a lot of literary devices or poetic devices. We're going to come at the end of the poem. So do stick till the end. He has emphasized this, that really and truly a pet dragon, because normally people don't keep dragons as pet, right? But Belinda right here has a pet dragon. So pretty interesting start to the poem. Second stanza. Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink, and the little grey mouse, she called him Blink, and the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard, but the dragon was a coward and she called him Custard. Again, pretty straightforward. We have the names of those pets. The interesting one again is the name of the dragon. It's called Custard. Custard is a sweet dessert. Normally dragons are not supposed to be sweet, but here we are, because again we are doing a parody of a ballad. We have to remember, and this dragon is actually a coward. And we'll find out in the course of the poem how much of a coward this dragon actually is, or is he a coward at all. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth and spikes on top of him and scales underneath. Mouth like a fireplace, chimney for a nose, and realio trulio daggers on his toes. Again, this stanza also is filled with literary devices. We're going to come to all of this at the end, okay? The description of the dragon. This is how the dragon looks. And dragons are not real, right? They're mythical creatures, they are imaginary creatures, but this is how a dragon is supposed to look. But the interesting thing, again, remember, despite being so ferocious, he is supposed to be a coward again. Next one. Belinda was as brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chased lions down the stairs. Mustard was as brave as a tiger in a rage, but Custard cried for a nice safe cage. Now we are getting the description of everyone in the household, including Belinda herself. They have all been described as very brave. Some are as brave as bears, some are as brave as lions, others are as brave as tiger. The only coward member in the household is the dragon. Again, remember, we have to come back to this later on in the poem. And this dragon only wants a safe cage. This is a paradox. This is an irony. Dragons normally don't seek safety, right? Next answer. Belinda tickled him. She tickled him unmerciful. Ink, Blink, and Mustard, they rudely called him Percival. They all sat laughing in the little red wagon at the realio trulio cowardly dragon. Now he is a laughing stock of everyone in the household. Everyone has fun with him. They mock him, they jeer him, they tickle him. Even all these things should be very, insulting for a creature like a dragon. But that is not the case here for our dragon, because again he's a coward, and they called him, mockingly Percival. This is an interesting allusion. It's again a literary device. It's a poetic device. Percival used to be one brave knight in King Arthur's kingdom, in King Arthur's army. Okay, they mockingly called him Percival because Percival used to be a brave knight in King Arthur, legendary King Arthur's army, and they know that he is not brave. Custard is not brave. That's why they are mockingly calling him Percival. Next one. Belinda giggled till she shook the house, and Blink said, "Weak, which is giggling for a mouse." Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age, when Custard cried for a nice safe cage. Again, they're having more fun at his expense. Giggling, they're laughing, they're doing all sorts of things at his expense, right? Even they're asking his age. Sometimes asking age of anyone can be very sensitive, right? But they don't care because they want to have fun at his expense all the time. Next answer. Suddenly, they heard a nasty sound, and Mustard growled, and they all looked around. "Mute!" cried Ink, and "Oof!" cried Belinda, for there was a pirate climbing in the window. Look at this. Look at the use of this language here. Window. Window is nothing else, it's window. Now the main event of the poem starts. Okay? Someone is coming through the window. It is a pirate, right? So when they heard the sound, everyone is alert. They are surprised. They are somewhat scared too. If you look at these expressions, these sounds, they are a little bit scared looking at the pirate as he is coming through that window. Window stands for window. It's one more poetic device. We are going to come at the end of the poem. Pistol in his left hand, pistol in his right, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. His beard was black, one leg was wood. It was clear that the pirate meant no good. Now, this is the description of the pirate. Again, if you are familiar with a pretty popular movie series, that is Pirates of the Caribbean, I'm sure most of you are. You would have seen Captain Jack Sparrow. He used to be a very favorite character of mine. Okay, so you know how pirates look, how typical pirates look. So nothing extraordinary here. Just remember this word. Cutlass means sharp knife. Okay, so he is well equipped. This pirate has come pretty well prepared. He has guns, he has pistols in his hands, both of his hands, and he also has a pretty sharp knife tattoo in his mouth. Let's go to the next answer then. Belinda paled, and she cried, "Help, help!" Mustard fled with a terrified yelp. Ink trickled down to the bottom of the household, and little Mouse Blink strategically mousehole. Now these characters, these supposedly brave characters, some as brave as tigers, others as brave as lions and bears, but now when true adversity came, they have shown their true colors and they are running away from danger, right? Every one of them have run away from the pest, including Belinda and everyone else. The interesting use of the word is, again, see the last word, mousehole. This isn't even a real word. This is also one more poetic device that the poet has used. We are going to discuss at the end of the poem again. Next answer. But up jumped Custard, snorting like an engine, clashed his tail like irons in a dungeon. With a clatter and a clank and a jangling squirm, he went at the pirate like a robin at a worm. This stanza is filled with poetic devices. Anyway, so this is it. When everyone else ran away from the danger, who came up? It was Custard. It was Custard, the coward dragon, actually came to the rescue of Belinda and her house. He is taking the attack to the pirate, the intruder that has come to attack Belinda's house, and he is putting up a fight to save and rescue the house. Okay, again, that supposed coward, the creature whom everyone had underestimated, he has come forward to the rescue. Now, this is one more lesson that we can learn from this poem, that never underestimate anyone. Even the underdog has his days sometimes. Next answer. The pirate gaped at Belinda's dragon and gulped some grog from his pocket flagon. He fired 2 bullets, but they didn't hit, and Custard gobbled him every bit. Now, the pirate, first when he saw the dragon, nobody expects a dragon to be at anyone's house, right? So he was taken aback by that. He was very surprised. He did try to fight back with his bullets, but we know bullets are not going to do any harm to a dragon, right? Nevertheless, these bullets did not even hit Custard. So he avoided them and gobbled up the pirate very easily. And in a way, saved Belinda's house from being robbed, from being ruined. Next answer. Belinda embraced him, Mustard licked him, no one mourned for his pirate victim. Ink and Blink in glee did gyrate around the dragon that ate the pirate. Now everybody has come forward again and they are showing their appreciation. This is the only stanza you are going to find in this entire poem where other members of the household they are showing some appreciation. They are giving the flowers to Custard the coward dragon. But but it's going to change very soon. Remember, let me just explain this one phrase. See, this glee did gyrate. Glee means in joy and happiness. Gyrate means going in circles around someone. So everyone is happy. They are finally showing some appreciation to Custard the dragon. Next answer. But it's going to change very soon. See what happens. But presently, up spoke little dog Mustard. I would have been twice as brave if I hadn't been flustered. And up spoke Ink and up spoke Blink. We would have been 3 times as brave, we think. And Custard said, I quite agree that everybody is braver than me. Now they are showing their true faces again. Now they are saying those creatures who ran away at the first sight of danger, they are saying again, oh, we would have been much braver than me. We just ran away because we were confused, flustered, right? If we were there, we would have handled the situation much better than you. And ironically, Custard also agrees with them because he has that sort of a personality. He is a humble personality. He just shows up when it is necessary, when it is needed. He does not believe in fake show off, right? Says yes, you lot all are braver than me. That's it. Now, although we do have 2 more stanzas, but if you look carefully, these 2 stanzas are actual repetition of earlier stanzas as well. So nothing more to explain here. Now we'll go straight to figures of speech. Okay, if you see the first stanza, first of all, let's discuss the rhyme scheme. We talked about it has a beautiful, pretty steady rhyme scheme throughout the poem. It follows A, B, B rhyme scheme. Let me explain. If you see the first stanza itself, see the lines end with house, mouse, wagon, dragon. So A, B, B. This is the scheme that has been followed throughout the poem, right? Now let's go to the figures of speech. In the first stanza, we have repetition. See the word little has been repeated multiple times. We have oxymoron as well. Pet, dragon, we said these are almost contrasting in these 2 words, pet, dragon, normally don't go together. But here we have use of this phrase. So that's oxymoron. Anaphora, we have anaphora. Same word starts consecutive lines like and a little. You see the next line also and a really. So that's anaphora. Refrain. This one is very interesting. This one has been repeated throughout the poem itself. Remember this. I'll just point it out once. You find out the rest. Okay. So almost like a chorus. This line comes back again and again throughout the poem. And a realio, trulio, that part. So that is a refrain. Poetic license. This one does come back again throughout the poem too. That realio, trulio, this part is also a poetic license. Why? Because the poet has used his license of being a poet and changed this real word like really and truly into the words that he likes to make it more funny, to make it humorous, to make it suitable for a parody of the ballad, right? So this is poetic license too. Second stanza. We have simile here. We have alliteration. Simile, why? Dog, Mustard. Alliteration, C sound has been repeated here. See, coward, she called him Custard. C sound repeated. Anaphora, again, and is starting multiple lines, consecutive lines. So that's anaphora too. And repetition, again, repetition of the word little. In the third stanza, you also have simile. Why? Dragons, see this part, dragon's mouth is compared to the fireplace, like both these things breathe fire. So that's simile. Refrain, same part, realio, trulio, and metaphor. Chimney for a nose. Here the nose of the dragon is compared to a chimney. Again, both these things breathe out fire. So this one is metaphor, but the first one is simile. There is a slight difference between a metaphor and a simile. In simile, we are going to have words like, as, direct comparison. But if you see the metaphor, chimney for a nose, we have to find out that this is the comparison. We have to find out that, oh, the poet means that the nose of the dragon almost works like a chimney. This type of comparison is called a metaphor. In the fourth stanza, you also have simile. We have assonance here. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sound. Here, A sound has been repeated multiple times. See, Belinda was as brave as a barrel full of bears. A sound has been repeated. That's assonance. In the fifth stanza, refrain again comes back. I'm not going to discuss which part is refrain. You find it out for yourself. Repetition. tickled him, that part has been repeated. Allusion, I talked about this earlier on. King Arthur's legendary knight Percival has been alluded to here. So this is allusion. Okay. Personification, ink, blink, mustard, they rudely called him Percival. The dragon has been personified. He has been compared to a person. So that's personification. In the sixth stanza, we have onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is a description of sound. Okay. So see these expressions, giggled, weak. These are describing some sound. That's onomatopoeia. Repetition. Custard cried for a nice safe cage. This part is repetition. In the seventh stanza, we have onomatopoeia again. Why? See these expressions. Mustard growled. Mute cried ink. These are describing some sounds too. So that's onomatopoeia. Poetic license. Window has been changed into winda. The poet is again using his license and changing these words. In the eighth stanza, we have alliteration, aplenty. Like B sound has been repeated, H sound has been repeated. You find it out yourself. Imagery. So when the pirate was entering through that window, if you read that part, you'll realize that you're creating a picture in your mind. So these parts are called imagery. In the ninth stanza, we have repetition, help, that's pretty obvious. And one more poetic license. This one I also alluded to earlier on, that the word mouse hold. This is not even a real word. The act of the mouse getting into his hole has been referred to as mouse hole. He's almost using this word as a verb. So this is also poetic license. In the 10th stanza, we also have simile. Sound of the dragon is compared to the sound of an engine and so on. So that simile. Onomatopoeia is plenty here. Okay, clatter, clang, jangling. These are all expressions of sound. So these are also onomatopoeia. And we have imagery too. When the dragon forced his all-out attack on the pirate, again, see, we almost can visualize that in our mind. So that's also imagery. In the 11th stanza, we have alliteration again. G sound has been repeated. Gulp, some, grog. That's basic. That's an obvious alliteration. And imagery too. So when the pirate first saw the dragon, again you will visualize his surprising look on the face. So this is also imagery. In the 12th stanza, we have alliteration again. G sound repeated. Glee, did, chided. Assonance. This time, assonance. What is assonance again? Repetition of. Assonance is repetition of vowel sound. This time it's O sound. See this portion. No one mourned for. O sound repeated now multiple times. We also have the repetition of I sound here too. See, ink and blink in glee did. So these are assonance. So that will be it, because the other two stanzas again are complete repetition of earlier stanzas, because it's supposed to be a song, right? Remember, it's a ballad, although it's a parody anyway. And some songs end as the way they began as well, right? So I hope you did find this video helpful. If you did, please do leave a like and let me know in the comment box. And if you have any doubts and worries too about this poem, you can ask me in the comment too. Thanks for watching.